Okay, guys, you are about ready to find out why you learned to factor in the first place, okay? So to find solutions of linear equations, something that looks like x plus 3 equals 4, okay? If we're doing this, x plus 3 equals 4. It's easy. You subtract 3, you solve it. You have 1x, right? But once we add a square to here, that makes it quadratic. Means it could have two possible solutions, and you can't just solve it so simply anymore. You got to be a little more careful. So we're going to learn all the different ways in this particular chapter. We're going to learn all the different ways to solve quadratics. Okay. The trick is going to be in using what's called the zero product rule, and that is A times B equals 0. This is called the zero product rule. Get it? Because look, they're multiplying. Okay, so here is the idea. It's a really cool trick. So if A times B equals 0, what do you know about A or B? One of them has to be equal to 0, right? And we're going to use that fact to help us solve quadratics. We are going to put stuff in this form, this multiplication kind of thing, so that we can use the zero product rule. So one of the things you're going to see us do a lot is set it equal to 0. See, because it's equal to 0 here. And you are going to see factoring a lot. So we can set it equal to, so we can use the zero product rule. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute. I'm going to, actually, I don't think I will. Let me go back here. I'm going to take off my face. Okay, there we go. All right, so coming back here, change colors. Okay, so look what they've done. They're baby stepping you all the way, okay, because they start off small and then they get a little bit harder. So what they're saying is that y plus 3 times y plus 1 equals 0. This is your A, this is your B equals 0. So in other words, this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. And all you need to do is set them equal to 0 and solve. So y equals negative 3 or y plus 1 equals 0. So y is equal to negative 1 if you subtract 1 from both sides. I'm not showing my work, you guys. So these are your answers, negative 3 or negative 1. And it says if there's more than one solution, separate them with commas. By the way, you will not put parentheses because this is not a point. These are two values of y. All right, take a look at this one. It says this times this equals 0. So we set each of these equal to 0. 2y plus 3 equals 0, or 7 plus y equals 0. And then you solve for y. Subtract 7. If I'm going to show my work, I need to actually draw that line. Sorry. Okay, y is equal to negative 7. And here I'm going to subtract 3 first. Draw my line. 2y equals negative 3. Y equals negative 3 halves. Two answers. And that is it. It's pretty simple. They're baby stepping you along the way. Then what they're going to do is now they're going to ask you to factor. So they're going to give you the simplest factoring thing. So the first thing you need to recognize is what they gave you. Whenever you're given an equation, please stop and take a moment and look at it. What did they give you? And the answer is they gave you a quadratic. Okay? All right. So if they give you a quadratic and they only give you two terms, okay, you need to ask yourself, since it's not a trinomial, you guys can't factor it like it's a trinomial. Do not try to move the 18x to the other side. It makes no sense. You can't have the variable on both sides of the equation. That doesn't work. I mean, you could try. You'd get 16. You'd get 6x squared equals 18x, but then what are you going to do? You still have x on both sides, and that is a problem. So we don't want to do that. Okay? So what you need to do is ask yourself the very first question in factoring is there anything in common? Is anything in common? We are going to come back to this over and over and over again. Oh my God. That was weird. I don't know what just happened, y'all. Okay. Is anything in common? What is in common? And you can see that 6x is in common. Okay, so we have 6x squared minus 18x equals 0. 6x is in common. We're going to kick it out. And you're going to write parentheses equals 0. And we're going to get x minus 3, right? Divide both of these by 6x. Okay, if you need me to show work, there it is. Okay, now look, I now created the zero product rule. Check it out. This times this equals 0. So we can set 6x equal to 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. And you get x equals 3 or x equals 0. And those are your answers. Let's do another one. Look down here. Okay, this one, they put the 18u on the other side. It's exactly the same problem, but notice where they put the 18. Okay, you have to set it equal to 0 to use the zero product rule. Okay, so we're going to go, whatever, guys, I didn't write that correctly, but whatever. Okay, so 6u squared equals 18u. Subtract 18u from both sides so you can set it equal to 0. And then it will be the same exact problem as that one. All right, next board. Okay, so they did the easy one, the binomials. Now they're doing trinomials. 1, 2, 3. Remember anything in common? No. Okay, what did they give you? They gave you a quadratic. What could you do? Possibly factor it. So this is your task. And it will be factorable, you guys. I'm just going to guarantee it. This is the simplest one. So you can 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Ooh, both of them equal 5. So how are you going to get a positive 6? That means both of the signs have to be positive or negative. So they're both going to be positive. Positive 2, positive 3. The 1 and the 6 means you have to subtract. And you could just play with it if you didn't know. Then look, this times this equals 0. So y plus 2 equals 0, or y plus 3 equals 0. So y equals negative 3, or y equals negative 2, and you're done. Okay, take a look at this one. This one has a negative 6, so this is the opposite. We're going to factor it, and we're going to get, actually, I can move this up a little bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and factor it, and we're going to put v, and v. And then look, 1 times 6, 2 times 3 equals 6. But to get a positive 5 and a negative 6 means the signs are different. We're going to get a positive 6 and a negative 1. Okay, you can guess and check, but that's the fast way. Look, now we can use our zero product rule. Oops. I don't want to do that. I don't want to erase it. V plus 6 equals 0, or v minus 1 equals 0. So v is equal to 1, or v is equal to negative 6. Done. Next. Okay. Now you're going to get to the part where you have to use the AC method, because look, they gave you something with a 5 in the front of it, and that kind of sucks. But guess what? It's going to be what you're going to be doing for a while. So I think these are still going to be nice. They're going to factor nice because they're still baby stepping you, and they haven't introduced the quadratic formula. So set it equal to 0. That's step 1. Set it equal to 0, and 2 is factor. Okay, I'm tired of orange. Let's get a different color. Let me get green. I love this green, you guys. It's so pretty. Okay, so jump the 17 to the other side and change the sign. Jump the 6 to the other side and change the sign, equals 0. Okay, now you can either guess and check, or you can use the AC method. I am going to guess and check because that's who I am. I'm going to go 3 and 2 because I know 5 times 3 is 15 and 2 times 1 is 17, and that's what I'm trying to get. I could kind of see what's coming. Look, check it out. Zero product rule. So I go 5w plus 2 equals 0, 4w plus 3 equals 0. 5w equals -2, w equals -2/5, or w equals -3. All right, I did not show the AC method. If you guys need that, you are welcome to look it up again, okay? It is the most common way to factor. I might do it on this one. Actually, this is a perfect square trinomial, so it's going to be hard to resist. All right, doing it the fast way. Here we go. Set it equal to 0, okay? So we set it equal to 0. We're going to go 4w squared plus 20w plus 25 equals 0. All right, now you can guess and check, or you could do the AC method. I will do the AC method this time. So 4 times 25 is 100, factor 100, and we're trying to get to 20, okay? So it's going to be 2 times 50, 4 times 25, that gives you 21 or 29, nope. 5 times 20, no. 10 times 10, there we go. That's how you're going to get 20. So we're going to go 4w squared plus 10w plus 10w plus 25 equals 0. Remember, that's what we do. We split it up, and then we factor by grouping. So what's in common? 4w, not 4. I'm scared to move my thing sideways because I keep shrinking my board. Okay, there we go. Oh, wow, look. Oh, what happened to my problem? It went away. Oh no, you guys. It'll probably come back in a flourish in a second. Yikes, I'm scared. Okay, 2u plus 5. And then what's in common here? 5 times 2w, not u, plus 5. And there you go. 2w plus 5, check it out, plus 5. And it actually could have been written as 2w plus 5 quantity squared. I don't know if they're going to make you go to this form, okay? May or may not. By the way, I used the AC method, but I would have immediately, I recognized it, and I would have been able to do it in one step if you know your factoring. All right, so here we go. Let me make sure this is the next one, just in case. Yes, it is. Okay, so now we're getting to more complex stuff. Check it out. This is craziness, right? You have to look and see, what the crap did they give you? Well, they gave you a lot. Okay, they gave you a quadratic on this side, and they gave you a quadratic on this side. So what do you have to do? Pick your favorite color. I'll pick red. Okay, and you need to multiply it out. Okay, so we are going to write this down. So 2w squared plus 4w plus 4, and then write it out. Remember, I told you to write it out? It's the fastest way. I'm not trusting you guys at this point to be able to jump to this answer. If you FOIL it out, that's what you will get. I'm not teaching the stuff from last chapter. I'm assuming that you know it. Okay, here we are. This is the point. Okay, what are you going to do? You need to set it equal to 0. It's the same process. So we're going to subtract w squared from both sides. Okay, we're going to subtract 8w from both sides, and we're going to subtract 16 from both sides. And this side's going to be 0. This one's going to be -12, -4w, and w squared. And now you go, oh, wow, look, I have a quadratic. I wonder if I can factor it so I could use the 0 product rule. Okay, 6 and 2 will make 4, minus and plus. I'm not going over that. It probably will take you longer to do that. Don't feel bad. I factored forever, so it's just, I've seen so many combos, you guys. Now we can use the 0 product rule, and you will get the answer. Okay? And that's that. All right, look at the next one. The next one is very much the same. So if you want to pause and you want to try this one on your own, this is a good time to do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change colors, and I'm going to do that. Okay, green. Okay, so we're going to go 2u squared plus 19u plus 46 equals. And you're going to go ahead and multiply this out, u plus 6 times u plus 6. And if you know how to use the shortcut method, it's u squared plus you multiply these two together times 2, and then the last number squared. All right, then you're going to set it equal to 0. So we are going to subtract u squared or get u squared. Okay, I don't recommend doing this in your head, but I'm doing it quick because I assume you already tried it. Minus 12u from both sides, so you'll subtract 12u. If you need to write it, you can write it, and you will get 7u plus 7u, and then minus 36 plus 10. So factoring it, u, 2, 5 plus. So u is equal to negative 5 or u is equal to negative 2. All right, next. Okay. How awful could this get? Well, here's the thing. It's not as bad as you think. This is A and this is B. Do you see it? A times B equals 0. So set A equal to 0 and set B equal to 0. All right, and then you're gonna, is there anything in common? No, it's quadratic. Ooh, factor. These are the questions you go through. 10 is 2 times 5. We need a plus 5 minus 2 to get a positive 3. Minus 2. Guys, if I'm ever going too fast, all you need to do is slow down the video or pause it. X equals negative 5 or X is equal to 2. That's one solution. Here, you're going to move the 15 to the other side. Don't forget how to solve simple equations. Divide by 5 and you'll get negative 3. So you have 3 solutions, negative 3, 2, and negative 5. Okay, next. All right, so now it's asking you to go backwards. Now it's asking you, write in a quadratic equation whose roots are 2 and 4, and leading coefficient is 2. So this isn't meant to be hard, you guys. It's just you have to go back to the equations that we had. Now, they're kind of jumping this on you. These are your intercepts. Intercepts are also called roots. You guys, these are the places where the graph crosses. Okay, so if we are graphing this quadratic, this is where the graph crosses the x-axis. These are called intercepts. They're also called roots. They have 5 names. These points are so important that they have 5 names. Let's see, solutions, intercepts, roots. We'll come up with these are the 2 names. But this is the equation they want you to grab. So you just need to plug it in. Okay, so they told you the leading coefficient is 2. That means A is 2. So we plug in a 2 for A. Then they're telling you the roots are 2 and 4. So it's going to be x minus 2, x minus 4. Why is it minus? Because the minus is part of the formula, you guys. So if it were negative 2, it would be a positive 2. It's the opposite. Whenever we're dealing with the x one, it's always the opposite, if you haven't noticed. And now you just need to multiply. So we go FOIL it out, x squared minus 4x minus 2x plus 8. And then you get 2 times x squared minus 6x plus 8. And then distribute it out. This is how you checked it in your test. And that's it. There you go. That is the equation. See, it's the equation of a quadratic that has a leading coefficient of 2, and it has the roots 2 and 4. Okay. Now you're getting into shapes. I did 2 of these. This is the first one. They're very similar. Quadratics are really popular with rectangle problems. I typically write the area in the center. So it says the area of a rectangle is 44 meters squared. And the length of the rectangle is 3. The length is, you guys, length of the rectangle is means equals 3 meters less than 3 less than double the width, 2W. Okay? It's easiest if you just translate as you go. And usually W is just W. Okay, so what did they give you? Area. So remember, I tell you always formula, substitution, resolution. Okay, so write your formula first. Area equals length times width. We all know what it is. It's a rectangle. It's length times width. They gave you the area now, so you substitute in for what you know. 44 is the area. The length is 2W minus 3, and the width is W. They don't want this, though. They want the dimensions. Okay, that means we actually have to get an answer, which means we have to multiply this out so we can set it equal to 0 and get rid of the 44. See, we can't set it to equal to 0 yet. I mean, we could move it over. I will do that, in fact, because I bet you a lot of you guys will want to do that. I'm going to switch it around. I'm going to put the W in front. See, W times 2W minus 3 minus 44 equals 0. So I set it equal to 0, but this isn't like nice to work with. We need to get it in quadratic form. So 2W squared minus 3W minus 44 equals 0. Now we have a quadratic. It's got a, unfortunately, it has a 2 as a leading coefficient, which means we have to use the AC method or guess and check. Okay, but nothing's in common. So let's do this. So we're going to go 2W, W, and we are trying to get 3. So we're trying to get something kind of close. You know what? I might actually do the AC method. 2 times 44 is 88. So let's start. We're going to go, how about 8 times 11? There it is. Sometimes it's the easiest one. 8 times 11 is going to get me to a negative 3. So I am going to go ahead and erase this because I didn't want to do a guess and check with 44. So here we go. It's going to be 2W squared minus 8W. No, plus 8W minus 11W, because remember, I want to get a negative 3. Okay, minus 44 equals 0. I'm going to factor by grouping now. So we go 2W times W plus 4. Okay, 2W, that was weird, guys, times W plus 4. I think it's just refreshing. 11 is in common. What's in common? 11. W plus 4, not minus 4, because a negative times a positive is a negative, equals 0. So our final answer is going to be W plus 4 times 2W minus 11 equals 0. And now set these equal to 0. Now check this out. If W plus 4 equals 0, that means the width equals negative 4. That is a stupid answer. Okay? It's a dumb answer. You can't have a width that's negative. So we're going to have to roll with this guy. Okay? 2W minus 11 equals 0. 2W equals 11. W is equal to 5.5. Now, why did I go to decimals? Because it's a word problem. You are allowed to go to decimals if it's a word problem. So width is 5.5 centimeters or meters. 5.5 meters. And then this one, you have to plug it back in. So 2 times W is 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. No, this is supposed to be 11. What did I do wrong? 8 times 11. No, it's not. 8 times 11 is 88. Yeah, that's right. So half of 11 is 5.5 times 8 is 44. Check. It works. All right. I'm going to do the next problem. No, I'm not. I guess I don't have a next problem. Okay, I thought I had 2 of those. I guess I don't. I just have 1. All right. Yeah, maybe just look at Alex for that one. all right, for the second one. And that's it for these notes.